The Law Students Association of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka organised a forum in Colombo yesterday under the theme Law Talk. Former Chief Justices Sarath and Silva and Attorney at Law S.L. Gunasekara participated at this forum.
Now, as to what is superior, which institution is superior, which institution, I don't think we have to go into that. In the Constitution, there are different institutions. No one institution is superior to the other. They have powers, there are checks and balances. So when it comes to a decision as to whether Justice Bandaranaike's right has been affected, then of course the institution that can rule on that is the court, and that is Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, High Court and so on and so forth. That's 105 says. Because that is judicial power. The disciplinary process itself is not judicial power. But as a result of which, if your rights are affected, then the determination of that is judicial power. I also saw this long ago when the impeachment motion was presented, but I knew this, all this talk won't help me. I had to use my other devices to finish this off. There would have been a lot of grand judgments and I would have been there is a time for legal, there is a time for practical. No, what really happened amongst law students and musicians or someone but this was presented because really Mr. Hirunika and Ganeshan really thought that their target was not Sarath Silva, their target was Chandrika Kumar. They felt that Chandrika Kumar can't be got to them unless Sarath Silva is got to them. So they presented this impeachment motion. And fortunately for Sarath Silva, what happened was, at that time, the UMP succeeded for the first time in the history of the UMP, getting 7 people from the PA to their side. And I quietly kept silent about this. And if I Mr. Ranil Vikram Singh, I said, what happened to the impeachment motion? He would have thought, so send some dogs behind me. So they completely forgotten, and then that's what happened.
Now, to my mind, this is utter nonsensical. I do not mind, I do not say that there is something wrong with limiting the term of Chief Justice to 3 years. Or for that matter, anybody. Because I think that a person having power for too long a period is not at all a good thing for the country. But at the same time, this seems to be in conflict with the 18th Amendment, which gives the President the right to keep on becoming President again and again. The one fortunate thing about this impeachment is that it brought to bear the degree to which sycophancy has gripped our country, the degree to which the sycophant has been promoted, the degree to which people resort to sycophancy to get their way, the degree to which people are willing to forget principle, who are willing to forget right and wrong because they want to get somewhere. If these lessons permeate through our people and we can gain some benefit from it, then this impeachment will be very worth it.
On to more local news. The Tamil United Liberation Front questions as to whether the country is being led to a bleak future. The party voiced this concern through a media release issued under the signature of V. Anandasangari, the General Secretary of the TULF.
The TULF rejects the claim of the security forces that another 1,400 LTTE ex-combatants are yet to be arrested. The media release adds that the government forces had failed to honour the promise given to youths, both boys and girls, that all of those who had even 1 hour's training from the LTTE should surrender to the forces, with a promise to have them released after a brief inquiry. However, the promise so given was not honoured and all of them were sent to the rehabilitation camp stamped at the LTTE combatants, destroying the opportunity that they have for any higher education. The release reads that it is no secret that a good number of them were compulsorily recruited or taken under threat. The TULF warns the forces not to create opportunities for further terrorist activities in the future. In the release, V. Ananda Sangri says he is positively sure that there are no more tigers in any part of the country, and if by any chance there are any, just forget about them, because during the last 3.5 years, not a single shot had been fired and not a single casualty had been traced. It adds that if government forces go on a hunting spree, even innocent youth without any involvement will also go underground. The TULF charges that the move to organize, strengthen and equip the army camps is to put minorities under permanent fear and tension. The General Secretary of the TULF is of the view that arrest and detention of the two close associates of the TNA members of Parliament, Sridharan, is a prelude to the events that are to follow and cannot be condoned. The General Secretary of the TULF, V. Ananda Sangari, says that if justice appears to be done, the government should order its forces to stop hunting LTTE cadres and release all those detained, including the university students and MP's assistants. The media release concludes by questioning whether KP, with whose arms and ammunition killed thousands of innocent Sri Lankan citizens, is included in this 1,400 LTTE cadres that are to be arrested.
On to more local news, President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the current government has been able to inspire public confidence in the future of the nation. The President made this statement during a function held at Temple Trees yesterday.
The annual general meeting of the Fisheries Federation was held at Temple Trees yesterday under the auspices of President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
අපිට මේ ත්‍රස්තවාදීන් නිදහස් කරගත්ත හින්දා තමයි අපිට ජීවන ජනතාවට අත්වශයෙන්ම නිදහසේ කර්මාන්තය කරගෙන යන්න ඉඩ ලැබුණේ. අද මං
The fishermen are able to ply their trade freely because we were able to eradicate terrorism. I am very happy today because previously the fisher community lived in shacks, but now they are working hard to lead a better life. Similar to developing trade, we should take steps to deliver the fisher community as well and pave the way for the children of this community to obtain a good higher education.
දියුණු කරන්න ප්‍රජාව, දීවර ප්‍රජාව, උන්ගේ පවුල්, උන්ගේ දරුවෝ වඩා හොඳ පරිසරයක, වඩා උසස් අධ්‍යාපනයක් උන්ට ලබා දෙන්න අපි පියවර ගන්න ඕන.
Meanwhile, the National Sangha Sammelana handed over a letter to the President yesterday. The letter calls for Sri Lankan women not to be sent to the Middle East for employment as domestic workers.
Yet another phase of the Sajid Premadasa Sahana Yatra program was held in Chilao today.
Relief aid was distributed among 400 families affected by floods in Mahavilattava, Mugunu Watavana, Chilao.
මගෙන් ජනතාව අහනවා දැන් මොකද කරන්න කියලා. ඉතින් මම මගේ රටේ ආදරණීය ජනතාවට කියනවා කරපු දේම කරගෙන යනවා. මොකද මට තියෙන පුරුද්ද තමයි.
The people asked me what I am going to do. I would like to tell them that I will continue to do what I have been doing in the past. I am used to providing aid and relief to the people. I am used to bringing development to the people, and therefore I would like to tell everyone that I will continue to be with the people despite any influences, issues and protests that may arise. We will dedicate ourselves to understand the hardships faced by the people and serve them 24 hours a day and 365 days a year.
ජනතාවගේ දුක කඳුළු වේදනාව අවබෝධ කරගෙන ජනතාවට 24 පෑම 365 දවසෙම සිත සලසන්නට අපි අපකප වෙලා සිටිනවා.
The Unity Through Power Devolution movement convened a media briefing this morning.
They say they need 48 hours to detain a person before producing him in court. So the police will put the man to death. Why can't they produce him before the magistrate and then say they need to conduct further investigations? Our question is, why is he not being produced before magistrate? One day, all the MPs who voted for this will be imprisoned. We would like to remind them that they too will be held by the police for 48 hours. Who are the people who commit wrongs today? They are either members of the SLFP or the Alliance. Who engages in thievery? It is the members of the Alliance. The person who is best at taking polls and beating people up in display of thuggery will be made the opposition leader. We are asking the people to please take to the streets. We can see at present that the majority of criminals are in the government. If you take all the murders, underworld narcotic trafficking and other criminal activities in this country, you will see that persons within the government are responsible for 90% of these crimes. It is either Pradesh Sabha members, provincial councillors, ministers and MPs or their supporters. I would like to kindly say to the government that what they should be doing is not passing new laws but looking within and correcting their members and supporters.
අපි ආධාරකරුවෝ අදා ගන්න කියලා මම ආණ්ඩුවට මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ඊටාම ආදරෙන් මම කියනවා.
A statue of former parliamentarian Bharatha Lakshman Premachandra was unveiled by Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa today.
The statue of the late Bharatha Lakshman Premachandra was erected at the government factory premises in Kolonnawa. A number of ministers and parliamentarians were present at the ceremony held to unveil the statue. Floral tributes were placed at the statue of former parliamentarian Bharatha Lakshman Premachandra.
මොකද කාලයක් තිස්සේ හිතේ තියාගෙන හිටපු දුක තරහ හැමදේම ඔබ කාලෙක මම මේ පිට දාන්නේ තාත්තා නැති වෙච්ච ගමන් මං ගොඩක්
Today I am venting the anger and sadness that was locked up in my heart for a long time. I made rebellious statements when my father died. I was not only praised but also criticized for these statements. People asked why this child was shouting. I don't have to explain myself because he is my father. No one will scream on behalf of my father except for me.
මං අරගෙන යන කවුරු කෑ ගහන්නේ මගේ තාත්තා වෙනුවෙන්. මගේ අන්තිම හුස්ම වෙනකම්. මම මගේ තාත්තා වෙනුවෙන් කෑ ගහනවා.
In business news tonight, the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau says that the highest number of tourist arrivals to the island was recorded in December last year. According to the latest statistics released by the Bureau, a total of 122,252 tourists arrived in the country during the month of December.
2012 is considered as the year that recorded the highest number of tourist arrivals to Sri Lanka. By the end of 2012, a total of 1,05,605 tourists had arrived in the island. A majority of these tourists arrived from Asian countries, while the number of Eastern European nationals who visited Sri Lanka rose to 43%. According to the statistics of the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, the number of tourist arrivals in 2012 witnessed a 17.5% increase when compared to 2011. The government's target is to increase the number of tourist arrivals to 1.25 million in 2013.
Time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day.